Wow. Man. Bad day for somebody. Wow. Holy smokes, dude. Man, I don't know if you guys can see that from here in the camera, but this camper looks like he lost his axle and maybe somebody went off the cliff. This reminds me of the time that I was on the $1 Million Highway in Colorado, and we saw a guy who had nearly gone over the edge with a trailer. How's it going, man? Yeah, he said that there was a motorcyclist who came around this corner. He hit the camper dead in the axle, knocked the wheels out from under it. Camper fell over onto its left side, the side we're looking at. There was a guy behind the camper on a motorcycle. He freaked out and went over the edge.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So apparently everybody was okay, but the guy who hit the axle, I guess he was like alive and moving, but they transported him out because he was kind of hurt.
Yeah, I saw the ambulance go by.
Okay, yeah. That's crazy. I mean, how hard do you have to hit the thing to knock the axle out from underneath it?
I'm getting a little footage right now. Dude, wait until I add like 2 more inches. We can all afford 2 more inches.
Everybody can afford 2 more inches.
Wow, wow, wow. Oh, this is amazing. Look at the fog. So beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. As you guys can see, I'm on the Moto Guzzi again. Props to the V7. You know, it's my wife's bike, but it's been a reliable backup motorcycle because I'm having more trouble with the Scrambler. I went out a little over a month ago now to head up the mountains, and I got on the interstate, and I was trying to get the bike up to, you know, let's say 70 miles an hour. I was doing about 60 in 5th gear, and it just wouldn't go anywhere. So I downshift into 4th gear, and I can get it up to about 65, and the throttle's now pinned, and it's not going anywhere. And I was thinking, this isn't good. I should probably pull over. And just as I thought that, the engine did not seize up, but I got that rapid deceleration, and I had to pull over immediately. Oil light, engine to crank down. So yeah, it was a brutal, long day. And a long story short, I got it over to the mechanics, and we did another quick test ride, and I was going down the road, cranked down again, because once it's hot, it started cranking down, but when it cooled down, you could crank it up again. And then oil started coming out of the airbox, and the pipes were blowing white smoke everywhere. So needless to say, I had some kind of mechanical problem for sure. Mechanic has opened the engine up. Turns out that the pistons, both of them, are completely burnt up. The head is fine, but the cylinder barrels are damaged. So I've got to get 2 new pistons, new cylinder barrels. Opened it up on the bottom end. Turns out the crankcase bearing is completely shot. Well, not completely shot, but pretty close to being completely shot. And yeah, so anyways, my bike's in the shop being worked on. I've got some, oh wow, it's a beautiful view. I've got some root cause analysis going on over at the triumphrat.net forum with the rest of those guys, trying to figure out exactly what led to this catastrophic failure. I've only got 25,000 miles on the Scrambler, and I know I ride her hard, but you know, it's frustrating. Last summer I got taken out most of the summer by the shift rod bending after Moab, and this summer I got taken out most of the summer. First part of the summer probably because of the move, but the second part of the summer, the high-speed wobble was the first thing that showed up. You know, I think I addressed it for the most part, although it was still kind of there. And then all of a sudden now I've got this catastrophic engine failure thing going on. And by the way, it's going to cost me in the thousands of dollars to get fixed. I mean, super expensive. You know, I'd like to be doing some off-road journeys today on the Scrambler. I'd like to just be on the Scrambler in general, but I'd definitely love to do some off-road adventure riding, but I can't because my bike's out of commission. I really looked and considered a new bike. I was looking at the Ducati Scrambler, the Desert Sled Edition, the one that's like taller, more suited for, honestly, more suited for off-road riding. And I looked at a BMW F800 GS, and I guess I just concluded that I couldn't afford it. It's just too expensive, you know. I just getting the Scrambler fixed is $3,500, and I just can't afford a new bike right now. It's just crazy. Well, here we are off-roading with the Goozy, checking out the new Harley Scrambler, if you want to call it that, I guess. I am not super eager to be even doing this light gravel road on this Moto Guzzi. Besides the fact that I kind of promised my wife I wouldn't do any off-roading on it, which this is, you know, I would call this off-roading if I were on the Scrambler. But yeah, it's traction control, ABS, can't turn it off. Tires are very ill-suited for it. Suspension's not really built for it either. It's stuff like that right there in that corner, slippery stuff, that always freaks me out a little bit. Well, freaks me out right now a little bit on this thing. And these guys are tearing it up, and I'm going slow as hell. But yeah, Scrambler's being worked on. Should be back in action next weekend, and then we'll come back and we'll try out that river crossing. Check this spot out again. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful down there. Ugh. All right, the Guzzi has successfully traversed its first, only, and last off-roading adventure, at least before it gets turned into a Scrambler. Well, this ride today may turn into a real adventure here in a minute. Philip is almost out of gas with his little peanut tank. We need gas in like 5 miles. Let's see. We're at 107.5 since we filled up per my odometer. So I'm guessing Phil's got another 10 to 12 miles if he's lucky. But he could have more. Who knows? Nine miles. Yeah, we're gonna make it. Found it. Found the gas.